Okay guys, here we go. Goats on the lift still. Nothing's painted, nothing's took apart. The bushings are shot in these lower control arms. So they've got to come out. I don't know if y'all can see that really well, but this has all got to get painted. Firewall's got to get painted. Dad painted the rear end. It looks awesome. Got new bushings for it finally. I'm gonna clean these up, get these dudes in here. This is the 308 10 bolt. It's a 64 year, so this is a 1 year only size bushing. And I welded it. Dad painted it. I'll show y'all real quick the difference in these. Anyway, that's the part number you need for a 64 A-body 10 bolt ear bushing. That's the part you need for every other year. And this comes with, you got to buy 2 sets. They're like $6 a piece. It comes with one small one in each set and one larger one, which is for the front of the control arm. But the difference is substantial. That's the difference in the two, I guess. Or either maybe this is a control arm bushing. But this is the part number for the other years, according to the internet, which will mislead you. So that's what you need. I got them at Advanced Auto Parts. Transmission is in pieces, but Turbo 400 parts look pretty decent. Almost done with the Mustang. That's what I've been working on. So now we're gonna work on the Goat a little bit, waiting on parts for the other car. So that's the status we're at. It's pretty far behind. Alright, there's one installed. That one is not. I took a little mini flapper wheel and my end motor and cleaned the inside up. Make it a little bit easier. Put a little bit of axle bearing grease in there. Just a little bit. Y'all can tell there's a little bit of a taper right there where it gets bigger, and that's where it stops. That helps center it on the housing. And if you're like us, you ain't just gonna go throw this thing in the press. So I'm gonna show you the tool that we made to press this in with here in just a second. That'll stay. All right. So, well, let me get the bushing. All right. This bushing fits inside this socket. A little bit of slack. This is a 1/2 inch drive, 1 3/8 socket. We're using one instead of a 3/4 because the socket's not as deep. The deeper socket was hitting the housing to start with, and it wasn't allowing it to center over the bushing, so the bushing only pushed so far. So that's what it's going to push into. Okay. Got a piece of all thread with some grease on it. A couple of jam nuts on the bottom, a couple of washers, and then this is the bottom section, just like that. This is the bushing. Bushing's gonna go there. Thank you, sir. I got grease all over me. Got it? There we go. Then we'll just kind of center that up. And Dad's gonna get the washers and the nut. I got the bottom. Okay. Okay, so that'll center on that. And as you tighten this, it'll push the bushing in. And when it gets really tough, Dad found a 30mm axle socket. And just take that and smack that dude right there, and it'll keep going.
Tighten it up some more with your wrench.
That's right. There they are, pressed in to the taper. Some new bushings, GM A-body 10 bolt. So that's the 007 secret trick.
Make a nice shift.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, in case y'all wanted to know, this is 1/2 inch all thread. So there you go. And again, that's 1 3/8 1/2 inch drive socket. But you can use a piece of pipe, just about anything. Alright, we had a bad stud on this one. So Dad went and knocked the stud out the rear end on the other car. And then we got some washers and the lug nut on backwards. Pulling the, here, turn it up. Pulling the stud back through. Now this is out of the rear end that was in the car. I'm gonna hold it, show y'all this little trick he's showing me.
If you figure out how to work the ratchet.
That should be it.
One more pull.
Okay. Oh. Need breaker loose. It's almost like you've done that before.
Yeah.
There we go. That one's a little longer than the rest of them.
Seems to be, doesn't it? But when you put Mickey Thompson nags on the Plymouth, you break a lot of studs. So yeah, I've done it several times. There you go.
Farm out. It's a little crusty under here. That part of the trunk pan's good, but it's a little bent. I'm thinking we had some Dukes of Hazzard going on, but loosening stuff up. Gonna drop this other rear end out from under the car. Okay, this rear end's out. It's a little bit of a struggle. This I'm assuming this nut was probably not quite the right size and they used it anyway, so it's doing a burnout on the stud and not backing off. So then I back this side off. But I don't know, I'd say those shocks are probably still good. I don't know. Probably gonna swap out that upper driver's side control arm because it looks like junk. We're gonna have to use the brake lines off of this rear end. I need to get that rubber brake line off but it's trying to bend the steel line to get it off. And we're gonna take these homemade lowering kits off of these. And that's what we got. It's one rear end out. Gotta put one more in. What you think of that?
That's high tech.
High tech.
Without a car yet. That spring rule.
Patent. USA. I don't know what brand they are, but this is the good car, and it doesn't have air shocks, so it needs air shocks because the other two GTOs have air shocks. And GTOs are supposed to have air shocks.
That's what I always heard.
Alright, y'all. We removed the homemade spring compressors on the one spring, and we don't know where the other half went, but there's that half. That shows you a height difference, so the back of the car should be taller for sure. So now we're going to take this side off. That's a pretty good height difference. We are professionals. Do not do this at home. If you're gonna do this at home, you didn't hear it from me. Okay? Because, like I said, we are trained professionals. I'm not sure if we're professionals at this or not, but we are professionals at some things. Like, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Well, the train part comes in the fact that you like trains so much when you were little.
I did like trains a lot when I was little. So that, yeah. So see, we're not trained as in training. Trained as in like choo-choo. Train. Yeah. Trained professional. I'm gonna remove all this homemade safety wire stuff.
So you could use that less than the tension if you want.
I could. That is true. But I'm gonna try to do it the way we just did the other.
Okay. So you know the results of that.
I do.
I have no idea where that part went.
I don't either, man, to be honest with you. It ain't in the trench. Oh, it's under the tool cart. Okay, we learned one thing from the first one, that it's easier to take the outer off last. So I'm gonna do that this time because it's a little safer. Maybe. There's a chance it's not any safer, but there's also a chance that it is. And we're all about safety around here. As you can see, I have safety glasses. Because you can see all the rust that's all over my arms from being under the car using an impact. So, I do value my eyes. Toes and fingers, not as necessary as eyes. Still necessary. Because you can't eat tacos if you don't have any fingers. Tacos are important. I was telling Dad earlier, we were talking, you know, because we're 3 weeks from this event today. Well, not 3 weeks from the event, but 3 weeks from the car needing to be drivable. Preferably reliably drivable, but drivable nonetheless would be great. And that's hot. And we were talking about it, and we're talking about priorities. Most people would be concerned with the transmission, you know, it's got to be rebuilt, and the camshaft, and the gaskets, and the motor, and all that stuff. This car had a rear end in it that we could have put brakes on. It just would have done one leggers at like 180 miles an hour because it had a 241 gear or 256 gear or whatever gear it had. So you would think rear ends aren't necessary, right? Just leave the one that's in it, make it run and drive, maybe put some U-joints in it, rock and roll. Well, instead we're swapping rear ends out because I want it to leave 2 long black marks, not just one. So it'll have a 308 gear with a welded diff, you know, because some people's priorities are different. Although, you know, when it comes down to the last few days and the car's not ready because I spent time on something I should have spent other time on. You know, we'll cross that bridge then, but I guess we'll see how this one's gonna do. Watch your eyeballs. Uh-oh. We have a jam. A little worried. One down. One to go. Getting close. Alright, same result. This isn't what happened last time. Last time it just split. Ta-da!
Well, we certainly want to save these.
Yeah, how'd they turn out? Are they mint? Are they reusable? Yeah, one's got a little bow to it.
We'll beat it flat on the vise.
But bonus points on this one, I sanded all the rust off of it so we can restore it with some spray paint. Went ahead and stole all 4 control arms off this car since it didn't have a rear end under it, and they're in better shape than the ones off the good car. There's your springs, there's the rear end we took out. Went ahead and snatched these control arms out as well. They were a little bit of a pain, but we got them out. So thinking while we're at it, since we're restoring things, these are the junk ones that come out of the car. That bolt was part of the bushing that it was in, so that was the worst one to get out. These other control arms, the bushings are in better shape and the control arms are in better shape. So I'm gonna box these in, plate the bottom of them so that they're stronger. And then that car also had the braces on it still, where the good car did not. Those connect here on the uppers to the side of the lowers. So anyway, that's the plan. We'll clean all that up and restore it, you know, slap some paint over it, and that'll be what it is. But that's where we're at currently. So we got a little bit done, a little bit of progress. But I'm tired, I'm dirty, I need a bath and some supper. So appreciate y'all tuning in the channel. I appreciate all the new subscribers, man. We're at like 949 last time I checked. So if we could squeeze out like 51 more in the next 3 weeks, that way, you know, we hit that 1,000 mark by the time we head to the No Names Nationals. You know, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe we could do like, I don't know, do something for it, celebrate it. But anyway, guys, we're gonna be there. I don't know if the GTO will. Definitely gonna try. That's the goal, obviously. But you know, I got a job, I got life, you know, I got other things going on, and you know, I got to work on other people's stuff too, so that I can afford to buy parts for these cars. So anyway, we've got most of what we need. I'd like to get a harness, because I don't really want to burn this car to the ground, you know, with this junk that's in it. So that and tires, I think, is the main things we're lacking, and then a bunch of man hours of putting it all back together. But appreciate y'all tuning in the channel. Y'all have a good one.